Welcome to the Jeff Crilley Show. And now, here's Jeff Crilley.
Welcome back to the Jeff Crilley Show. It's August 15th. It happens to be my birthday. I'm not looking for congratulations or anything like that, 'cause I don't even care to mention how old I am today. But thank you for coming on the Jeff Crilley Show. So my next segment is all about a cool nonprofit that I just became aware of called Sweet Hope, and that's sweet like hotel suite. My guest, Amy Green, she is on the board. Is that right? Is there a title? Are you the chairman?
That's right. I'm the board chair or chairman of the board, and I've brought Jeanna Doyle with me here today too, who is the founder of Sweet Hope.
Okay, so tell everybody about Sweet Hope. How did this all begin?
Well, very much like your last guest, I used the talents that I had to help a friend. I had a girlfriend going through breast cancer, and she asked for help shopping for a wig. And my background is in corrective makeup, but also in fashion and advertising. So I took her shopping for a wig and really discovered that I knew a lot about this and other people didn't. And it was an immediate need for women going through treatment. So I helped her through her journey and decided I needed to create more support. So I started on the journey, which was initially just a free support group, and then turned it into a 501c3 nonprofit so that I could duplicate that in other places. And we currently have a pilot program at UT Southwestern, which was just presented at a national conference as a best new practice.
Wow, that's really cool. Amy, tell me, for a woman battling cancer, your nonprofit really helps in a way that medicine can't. Am I right?
That's right. There's a lot of science and a lot of medicine behind behind the support services that are in place and that we'd like to see in place. A lot of medicine to support it being a best practice. That said, we don't have as many support services as we should have at hospitals, and for women going through cancer treatment, or men. I mean,
sure.
Obviously, we're not biased one way or the other, but the majority of patients that we do help are women, and they're usually going through cancer treatment, and it's the treatment itself that causes them to have physical appearances that are different from what they think of themselves as looking like.
Sure.
So obviously, you have skin that goes through changes and texture changes. Your hair falls out. You may be bloated and swollen. You may have all sorts of different physical effects from the treatment. And so we help women cope with those different things through supportive services, including counseling, but one-on-one visits with an oncology esthetician like Jeanna, who has, she didn't give you all of her very, very impressive background, but there's a lot to it and a lot of moving parts. And anyway, Jeanna and her vast experience has, founded Sweet Hope and brought us this, and it offers supportive services that I think she can probably tell you more about than I. But it's a comfort to a woman going through those changes from cancer treatment.
Absolutely. Well, Jeanna, I know you've helped countless women, but is there a woman who stands out in your mind as this is what this is all about?
Well, there's a couple, but I'd like to touch on the fact that I think some people feel like it's just a feel-good thing, but it's also a privacy issue. So I worked with a woman who's a police officer, and so if you think in terms of someone who's out there protecting and serving, it's critical that their changes in appearance do not affect them in the workplace. So that always stands out in my mind as like, hey, there's a real need for this beyond just I want to feel like I look like myself, which is also a very important factor. So with the loss of hair, there's a loss of privacy that's unlike heart disease or diabetes or another illness. Cancer really showcases that you're going through something, and we offer the tools so that they can have the privacy while they're going through treatment.
So if a woman contacts your organization, what's the process? What happens?
Well, we have the pilot program at UT Southwestern, but a lot of times still, just as we're a new organization, they'll work directly with me and I address their needs. So sometimes that's a private consult. Sometimes I take them shopping for a wig so that they have an advocate there to know what to look for. So it looks different, but they contact us through the website and then we set up an appointment appropriately through that.
And Amy, what drew you to this nonprofit?
Well, Jeanna, of course. And I've known Jeanna for years, and we've been friends. And when she told me she was starting this nonprofit and getting its 501c3, nonprofit status, she asked me to be on the board, and I was, interested in it. And I thought, well, sure, there's a need for that. And it's not silly. It's not about makeup. It's about privacy, as Jeanna said. And that rang true for me. But I think if anybody has had, everybody's been touched by cancer. If you've had any friends who are going through cancer treatment, or even just some other illness where she loses her hair or she's deprived of that privacy, and she has to still get up and go to work every single day and face the world, I think that, they sometimes aren't even up for the challenge of going to the counseling or getting those support services, even if they're there and even if they're offered. So it's something they just think, I'll deal with that later. And they go get a horrible wig, and you'd like to tell them that looks horrible. And if you would only just do this, you'd feel better, and then I wouldn't have to listen to you say how bad you look for 30 minutes, before we go, out to lunch or whatever it is that we're doing. It allows women to return to their daily activities, resume life as much as they feel up to doing, because sometimes, frankly, they don't feel up to doing it. And then on a personal note, I had an injury personally to my face, and Jeanna came to the rescue, and I saw some of these techniques that she has developed over her whole career, and I saw her implement them on me. She's done my makeup many times, but I have to tell you,
You look great.
Oh, well, thank you. And she's done my makeup a lot, but she was able to, I was embarrassed to go outside, and not so much, it wasn't anything I had done. There wasn't, a stigma or anything like that with it, and I didn't have to fear for losing my job or anything like that. But to see that there were many people out there in the world who didn't have a Jeanna in their pocket. They don't have her as their dear friend to come rescue them so that they can go out in the world and just go to the grocery store and not have people say, "What happened to you? What what's going on? Why are you sick? What's wrong with you?" And people did. I couldn't believe that strangers, at the valet or the person at the grocery store behind the checkout counter, and they would ask me, "Oh my gosh, what happened? What happened to your face?" And I would just answer them honestly, and I shouldn't have been put in that position. And they didn't mean to be ugly; they just
absolutely
couldn't help themselves sometimes. And so, anyway, to have that resource, that especially moved me. It was just good timing. Jeanna was probably primed and waiting for to ask me to be chairman of the board, because I would have already said yes. I already believed in what she was doing, but then to have it on that personal level was even more meaningful. And so I'm glad to say I'm healed and things are getting back to normal. But to have Jeanna there to come in and assist me, women don't even know what they're missing if they're not seeking that treatment and
that's a beautiful story.
taking advantage of it. So.
Well, Jeanna, if you're like most nonprofits, you are probably in need of money. Do you have any fundraisers? How can people get involved?
Yes, we have an event that we're launching that we're super excited about, and it's two parts. We're calling it S2 for Sweet Solidarity, and it's on August 29th. And August is National Hair Loss Awareness Month. So we have chosen August 29th as a day that people can, in support or solidarity for a friend who is experiencing hair loss in honor or of memory of, to go out and wear a wig. So you gather a group of friends, you wear a wig and post it on social media, and that part of the program is really just an awareness and support. Then the secondary part is when the people are finished with their wigs, if they'd like to donate them, we will then train the next generation of hairdressers to be more familiar with wigs. So students will have the opportunity to work with the wigs, clean them, cut them, style them, and then they will be donated.
I think that's outstanding. So at this point, if somebody's listening and they want to donate, do you want them to write a check? What's the best way to support you guys?
Yes, they can write a check. They can also go to the website, and there's a donate button right at the top.
What's the website?
It's www.sweetsolid.org. SUITEHOPE.org. So sweet like the location, hope.org.
Awesome. And Facebook page, are you guys doing social media?
It's Facebook USA, and there's a link on the website for that as well, on Twitter and Instagram.
So Sweet Hope USA.
Yeah, Sweet Hope USA.
Absolutely. And we have a dog in studio. I should call attention to
Yes, talking about hair.
Right?
And actually, she does have a little hair loss. She's getting a little older. This is Precious, my little carry along dog that goes kind of everywhere with me. So she's.
Will Precious be wearing her wig later this month
I was wondering about that. If we should. She didn't even get her hair done this morning, but she hopped in my purse, and she often does that. And I kind of just didn't have the heart to tell her no, and so she wanted to come, and I think I had she's a stowaway at times. So
Absolutely.
Here she is. I was, not even going to bring her into she's a mascot.
I think it's wonderful.
She has attended many board meetings and so forth. But I've threatened to take her into, I wanted to drop this. We have a pilot program at UT Southwestern for Sweet Hope.
Uh-huh.
And the money that we want to raise over time and our, ambition and our wish list, which you may be getting to, Jeff. I don't want to, but step on toes, but I do want to make sure we get it in here. We're planning to have a suite, SUITE. That's why it's called that.
Right.
We'd like a suite for our oncology estheticians to work out of at the cancer centers, at the hospitals. And we have a pilot program right now at UT Southwestern. Of course, we're a nonprofit. We need funding. And so we'd like to have an office. We'd like to have a place where the patients come in and are able to consult with, Jeanna or someone else that Jeanna has trained to be integrated into these, integrative services and those support services that are so meaningful so that we can provide that comprehensive care that actually will make a woman return to her daily activities, make her feel better about herself, and have better self-esteem.
Awesome. You guys have been a wonderful guest. I sure appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank
for
you,
joining
Precious.
me.
Thanks, you too.
Can we just say we wanted to give a shout out
Yes,
to
please.
Bravadas on Lovers Lane, who provided us with our wigs today.
Oh, love it.
We're all dolled up, even with our coiffs.
You guys are awesome. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Jeff.
very
Appreciate
much.
it.
When we come back, have you ever been ripped off? A former civil prosecutor with the FTC is in studio, and he's going to talk about what he's up to these days.